And welcome to the Epic Marvel Podcast YouTube channel live stream, where we're going to unbox this big box here. First of all, I want to say to everybody, Happy Lunar New Year to those who observe. Um, I am of Chinese descent, and so it is always great to be able to celebrate around this time of year and eat some good food and be with family and such. So I hope that you are enjoying that too, if those are your traditions. This is not a Marvel box. We'll get to the Marvel stuff in a little bit. Actually, there's a little bit of Marvel in here, but not an Epic collection. This is a box from Clover Press, and I've mentioned to a bunch of people already that I work for Clover Press. I do a lot of their graphic design, designing their books, do some editing work, and run their Kickstarters and that kind of stuff. And oh, thank you, everybody. Happy Lunar New Year to you too. Yes, it is the year of the horse this year. Um, okay, and so I every so often they send me a box of the books that we've published, and I just to save on shipping and custom fees and all that kind of duty fees and all that kind of stuff, I get them to ship it into me in one box rather than one at a time. And so, but this is a big box. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I've already opened it up because I already needed one of the books out of here. I needed this book because I was at Fan Expo Vancouver this weekend. It's the biggest local comic convention, Fan Expo. I'm sure you've heard of Fan Expo. They do conventions all over North America. And it was the time to do it here in Vancouver. And one of my friends who did this great graphic novel called Armored was exhibiting, trying to sell his books there. And I hung out with him all weekend. And then I had to get this book signed. So the package came in time for me to get it signed by him. So he was able to do that right there. This is not that we have a dust jacket. Oh, sorry about that. I have a dust jacket by David Mack on one side and Jay Lee on the other. So that's pretty cool. The interior art is well, here's the actual cover, which if you're going to get it from the retail outlets, it's got a nice kind of matte gloss finish on there, spot gloss. Um, this is by Ishmael Hernandez, who is a Spanish artist. This is his only North American work. He primarily does work in Spain, and it is beautiful. It's all watercolor all the way through. Uh, just stunning work. And what what the story is about a young boy who finds a haunted suit of armor, and the ghost of that armor teaches him how to use it properly and defend against the forces that have been unleashed on the world. And so it's a great story. I really like it. He's working on the second volume. Both of the writer Michael Schwartz and the artist Ishmael Hernandez are both working on the second chapter now, and it's really, really great. So I encourage people to check that out because it is well worth it. So we're going to check to see what else is in this box. There's a lot of things here, so we're going to have to move at a quick pace because we want to also get to the Epic collection, and I don't want this live stream to go on too well. So that's the first one, Armored. Check out Armored. Second, here at the top of the box, we have these portfolios by Michael Allred. This is part of our campaign, our Kickstarter campaign. Oh, there's some bonus stickers in here too. I'll show you these one at a time. So Clover Press has a license to publish Marvel books, and we do the Marvel Art of book series. And we did the Marvel Art of Michael Allred, which I was privileged to be a part of. I got to design that book, which is very cool. Got to design these stickers too, which really was just Michael drawing them and me putting them on sheets. But it's three clear sheets with all of these Michael Allred characters on them. Let's see if I can open this up. These were Kickstarter rewards here. Okay, that's so fun. One, oops. Two, who wants a dupe sticker? That's pretty great. And three. So these stickers were available just as rewards. I think that maybe if you search for Clover Press or the art of Michael Allred on Backer Kit, I think you can still get some of these stickers. The other thing that we got here was this trading card set. I got to design licensed Marvel trading cards for Michael Allred's as well. Um, yes, Tracy, those are stickers. The stickers are oversized prints are awesome. Yeah, thank you. This is great. So these are I based all of these trading cards off of Michael's significant runs. So we got 6 cards from Silver Surfer featuring Silver Surfer, Dawn Greenwood, Galactus, Eternity, the Never Queen, and Warrior One. If you ever wanted a Warrior One trading card, there you go. And then information, like it's got all of the stats and bios and like a fun fact and everything like that on the back. And then his run on Fantastic Four. Let's see, Ant-Man, She-Hulk, Medusa, Miss Thing, John Storm from the alternate reality, The Future Foundation, Dragon Man, Doctor Doom, and Impossible Man. So that's his run with Dan Slott on Fantastic Four. And then a page of some of his Ecstatics characters, or Ecstatics, Mr. Sensitive, Gone Girl, The Anarchist, Dead Girl, Venus de Milo, Vivisector, Dupe, Fat, and Zeitgeist. And then I've got one of these connecting ones where you put them all together and you form one big picture, and then bios of those characters on the back too. So if you want those trading cards, it's a 36 card set. I think those are also available on BackerKit. You'll have to check it out. We have a BackerKit store there, and that's where I think we're selling some of these rewards still. But anyway, these portfolios are great too. It's 9 prints in each of these, and it's like, how can I choose which ones are my favorite? Like they're matte finish, nice durable cardstock, nothing on the back except credits, suitable for framing. So cool. I love Michael Allred's art. He's got this kind of Silver Age flair, but with a modern edge to it. And he's just kind of a goofy, nutty guy, so it kind of makes a lot of his stuff fun. And so this one portfolio has 9 prints that are all, or 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 prints that are all Marvel Universe characters. And then there's one that's all Silver Surfer characters, which you can see which the prints are on the back there, kind of. And most of them are his Silver Surfer covers. And then one portfolio for X-Men related characters. If you can see that there, that's really great. So those are awesome. I can't wait to see. This is the first time I'm looking at all of these. You design them, and I don't get to see the proofs or anything like that because they get shipped to our head office in San Diego. I just have to trust they'll come out right. And but the guys who are approving things know what they're doing. But anyway, a lot more books in here. Let's find let's find the actual book. Ah, here it is. The Marvel Art of Michael Allred. This is my first time looking at this, and I designed this book. So it's like, that's pretty cool. Slipcase. It has this one. If you're getting it retail, it's not going to have a slipcase or a dust jacket. It's just the base book, but this is what we got in Kickstarter. And I think you can get these exclusive off of the Backer Kit as well. So if you look up the Backer Kit store, gotta be very careful cutting this open. But we want to see what it looks like on the inside, right? There is the slipcase or the dust jacket with some of the art that we saw in the portfolios as well. Avengers AI, and I think this was Marvel Comics issue 1000. Um, yeah, we'll look at the flaps. The flaps, we always design these flaps so that you can put the two flaps together. And here's a new piece that Michael Allred drew specifically for this. This is where I got all the characters from the stickers. I pulled them off of this sheet and made them into stickers, but that's pretty cool. And there's the cover to the book itself. This is what you'll see if you get the retail version. It's got red um, gilded edges. Nice forward from Dan Slott. And then a nice introductory article from Michael Allred. A couple of his really old pages before we... And all of this is kind of in chronological order for the most part. I played around with it a little bit here and there where I needed, right-facing characters or whatever. But we got a spread of his interiors and some of his, a lot of his covers, splash pages, double page spreads. Yeah, we had to use the text on some of these because the files don't exist anymore without the text on them, which is unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do. Wow, this turned out really nice. This looks great. There's a cloth bookmark in here for those of you who need to save the spot of your favorite image. So yeah, it's just page after page. Oh yeah, and for each little section, he gives an introduction talking about the fun parts of all of these, the fun part of doing Fantastic Four, fun part of doing Silver Surfer. And then let's see here. So that's the Silver Surfer part. And here is just kind of a generic Marvel Universe section before we get into the this book has never been opened, so even the gilded edged paint is still sticking here. This is the coolest part. How many of you seen this image here? It's a I don't even remember what it's from. What does the credit say? Marvel Traveling Exhibition. It's a fold out. It's a triptych. And then on the other side is we have that art that's on the inside of the cover, the dust jacket. And then the excellent, ending it off with some of his most recent work. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? Some inks, some commission work. This is great. I love it. So cool. You can order this at your comic book store, or wherever you order books from. You can order it online at Barnes and Noble or Amazon or whatever. But yeah. Or if you want to try and find these exclusives, then I think head over to BackerKit, like I said, and I think you can order them off of there. But I don't actually know for sure. Okay, couple more books, and then we'll get to the epics. This book is called The Gollum of Venice Beach, and it's by a guy named Hanan Beiser and friend Vanessa Cardinali. And this is a Frank Quitely cover, but that's not who does the insides. It's got a little bit of a cartoony flair to it, but it's about a modern day story where a golem, which creature in Jewish folklore, gets reawakened and goes after the mob. And it all takes place in Venice Beach. And I didn't work on this book, so I have not read it, but the first volume was quite fun. I enjoyed the first volume quite a bit. But it's got some, oh, and David Mack does a sequence in here. And I think Jay Lee does a sequence in here too. Yeah, so we had we got them both to do some work on that armored book plus this one. Yeah, there's a Jay Lee sequence, a few pages. And then there's a I think there's a couple more sequences with other artists, but maybe not. Oh yeah, there's some bonus pages like Howard Chaykin does a page, Stan Sakai does a page there. Um, yeah, a whole bunch of people. It's very cool. And there's even some extras in here. Didn't know about that. Jose Rip das Portoras, Dean Hespiel. So yeah, there's another cool book, The Gollum of Venice Beach. This is volume 2. Volume 1 came out a couple years ago, I think. Ah, and a few more in here. Again, let's be careful as we cut into the package. We do all of our stuff over Kickstarter, and I think that I think they're all available on BackerKid. Maybe not. I should stop saying that because I don't actually know. That Silver Surfer playing cards cover is still funny today. Yeah, it's great. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Um, there's a whole bunch of covers in there that are great. Marvel needs to use Dead Girl again in something. Yeah, that'd be great. X-Men #1 homage with the Fantastic Four. That's on the spine on the slipcase. You're right. Okay, here's a book called The Mask of Haliya. This is another one that I got to design, which is really cool. I did the first volume of this as well. This is the second volume called Echoes of the Forgotten Past. This is about a story of a Filipino mythology, kind of in modern day, as creatures, mythological creatures start attacking people. And there's this one girl who inherits powers from a mask, the Mask of Haliya. And we did this in partnership with a comic book company called Cuento Comics, which is which does a lot of or doesn't do a lot because this is kind of their only work at the moment, but does Filipino based mythology work and such. And they are an all Asian, all female comic book company actually, so that was kind of neat. Um, and yeah, so this is the second volume of that, and the first volume was quite good. The second volume is pretty good too. They actually it goes into some more gorier and heavier stuff, which is very cool. And yeah, you can see some of these monsters and such there, and it expands on the mythology. The only complaint I have is that they don't really answer any of the questions that they had from volume 1. They're stringing us along so that we will be involved with volume 3 whenever it comes out. So um, keep an eye out for that one. That's going to be volume 3 should be fun. So yeah, there you go. That's that one. These are all books you never heard of, right? Because we're not a big time publisher. Uh, these are the last two. Here's one that's not wrapped in plastic, so I can do this. This is called My Way by a Spanish artist. Let me just make sure. Um, who does very anime influenced artwork. Uh, oh yeah, that doesn't say. I believe he's in South America, somewhere, not Spain. Maybe, but here we go. Yeah, so My Way. This I'm not sure how we got hooked up with this guy, but he's got some really cool artwork. Very interesting style. I love his uses of pinks and purples. He loves cars and he loves beautiful women, and so he kind of mixes both of those together. Beautiful but deadly, it looks like. That's kind of his thing. So if you like art books of this kind of style, it's got some of his writing all throughout, so you can take a look at that and read some of the behind the scenes stuff. His name is Vin. He just goes by Vin, no last name. And this is a collection of his artwork from 2018 to 2024. Yeah, sorry about that. Did anyone else's screen go kind of blurry, or is it just you? Get your eyes checked, Logan. Just kidding. It might be you. Again, this is a Kickstarter slipcase. We like our slipcases, that's for sure. We try to do that with all of the Kickstarters. And in the case of like the new Spider-Man newspaper strips that we're doing, the slipcase is actually going to retail as well. So all of you will get to have the slipcase. This one is called Games Masters, and this is the slipcase is one of the just the line art of one of the interior books here. Game Masters is a comic book history of role-playing games by Fred Van Lent, who did a bunch of comic book history books. Fred Van Lent has done some writing for some Marvel comics and such as well. But in this one, we tried to copy the design a little bit of like the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books. We have that kind of texture on the cover, and I even tried to on the credits make that look like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It's kind of close, right? But this is a cool book. I really like this because I didn't know the history of role-playing games, but through the art of Tom Fowler, which is really, really good, really great artist. It's an amusing story. There's a lot of humor in here, but also from what I understand, factual. Um, and it goes from the the early origins from like let's see here. Where does it begin here? In the 6th century. The history starts in the 6th century in India and takes us forward to, you know, the role-playing games that we know and love today. So pretty awesome. This is actually really a really great book. So check it out. There is a lot there. Yeah, we did had a whole um it took me forever to he gave me all of these notes. It took me forever to lay this out in a readable fashion and like all of the stuff that needed to be bolded and the pictures he wanted and stuff. So we made it work. It's all notes about the facts that spring up throughout the story here throughout the pages. But that's just good. Yes, you did see Optimus Prime in there. He does appear, only because he's relevant. The Transformers is relevant to the story. I'll see if I can find that again for you. It's right near the end, where they were talking about toys taking over. Oh no, Transformers movie. Um, oh yeah, it's going on about the toy craze of the 80s and 90s and how that influences today and such. So there you go, Game Masters. Um, that one's cool. Okay, thank you for indulging me, everybody. Is that's all I have for Clover Press. Let me know if you get any of those books because I'd be really interested to know what you think of them. I'd like you to try the comic Dago one day, but you'd have to know Italian or Spanish. Well, when I learn one of those languages, then sure, I'll check it out. Or maybe I'll try Google Translate. Is the use of collections as a plural form intentional in a title to say that there will be more than one? That's an interesting question. Like epic collections, like this, I have a collection of epic collections. The collections means there's more than one collection in the collection. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is. Okay, let's see. We have the box. The Marvel box. This is the 499th Epic Collection, everybody. That means the next one that's going to come through my mail slot is going to be Epic number 500. So this is 499. If you can believe that we are at that point, that we have almost 500 Epic collections. Unbelievable. Well, let's see what we have today. We have the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts Epic Collection Volume 4 Redemption with Black Widow and Hawkeye on the cover. Interesting. Yes, Hawkeye is on the Thunderbolts. The cover doesn't feature any of the like mainstay Thunderbolts. Yeah, 513.5 years. That is, yeah, it's pretty amazing, hey? I think that's actually really good, especially and we're not slowing down. By the end of 2026, we'll have another 50 more or so. But anyway, this is Kurt Busiek and Fabian Nicieza get the top credits there with George Perez, Mark Bagley, and Patrick Zurcher. And Patch Zurcher actually he goes on to do Deadpool and Cable. In that epic collection, you'll find a lot of his work there. And Charlie Adlard from Walking Dead, and Paul Ryan before he dies. I guess that this is probably some of his last work then. Wow, that's a pretty good list of names there. Okay, well, let's have a look inside. This is definitely George Perez here. That's probably okay. Hold on a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at the back cover. The Thunderbolts vs. the Avengers with Hawkeye in the middle. Collecting Thunderbolts 42 to 52, plus Avengers 31 to 34, and Thunderbolts life sentences. And it looks like we're alternating Avengers and Thunderbolts issues through this crossover for the first half of the book. And then at the very end is Thunderbolt's life sentences. So we'll take a look at that. There's the Avengers. And of course, this is what Kurt Busiek has his name on the title because he's the writer of Avengers. And he was the writer of Thunderbolts up until the last volume, when he handed it off to Fabian, who was writing the Thunderbolts. So yeah, he gets to team up again. He gets his characters teaming up with his other characters. So that's pretty cool. The Secret Life of Madame Mask. It's interesting that this is considered a classic epic, but these issues of Avengers are. Oh no, I guess that's true. No, these issues of Avengers will still be considered classic because the Heroes Reborn era is classic, as far as we know from like Thor and Captain America. So Heroes Return Avengers, these issues will be in a classic era Avengers Epic Collection as well. And I assume the Thunderbolts part of the crossover will also be. So we're going to get some double dipping of half of this volume in a eventual um, Avengers Epic Collection. This is this is after I dropped off of Avengers. I was collecting this one by the on the through monthly issues when it first came out. I didn't make it this far. So this will be my first time reading through these issues. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Great art, great story. Get it. That says Axel Plate. Is Kurt Busiek's Thunderbolts run as good as his Avengers? I can't speak for the whole run, but the beginning of the run, or sorry, is it as good as his Avengers? That's hard to say. They're very different books, and I think the artist really makes a difference. It makes a big difference in just in the way that it looks and feels. So it's hard to say if it's better or not. It's different. Um, they're both great. I really like Kurt Busiek's Thunderbolts a lot. Wait, life sentences. Let's find that one here. I wasn't even aware of this one shot. Like I said, I wasn't paying attention to Thunderbolts at this point. So, but that's cool that it's in this book. Don't know anything about it though. And then we've got some extras. some trading cards, some writing from some of the previous editions of this collected material, uncolored artwork. It's inked, but it's not the original art because it's just the black and white line art. You can't see any of the underdrawing or anything like that. And that's it. What year is that? Says Piper. 2000 and 2001. Rebel from the Image universe. That's interesting. I don't know anything about that. What was the last epic you really enjoyed or loved? And what was the last one you really didn't enjoy or like? And why for each? Okay. Wow. Those are hard questions. Well, I know the one that I really didn't enjoy. The last one I really didn't enjoy was Deadpool Modern Era Collection Volume 5. I didn't even finish reading that one because it was like, I'm done with this. So that was unfortunate. I'm currently reading Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection #1, which is the Daniel Way stuff, and I'm liking it a lot better. I think it's great. With the secret invasion story and that kind of stuff. Um, and the let's see here. The one that I liked most recently, that's a hard I can't even remember what I've read now recently. Um, oh, well, I guess the obvious answer there is the X-Men Epic collections that I'm reading for the X-Men Reading Club. We've read through volumes 5 through 9 now, and they've been all great. I've loved each and every one. And so I hadn't read most of the content in Life Death and the Brood saga. That's kind of when it was a little spotty for me. I didn't have all the back issues and such, and so reading through that in order for the first time was very cool. And those are the ones that I think I really enjoyed the most. Um, God Loves Man Kills, that one as well. That era, that's a fantastic volume. With the Wolverine miniseries, which I definitely have read before, but putting it in context with all of the other X-Men stuff is just so good. Really, really great. I'm blown away when I see the epics list at the front and the back of the new epic releases and can't believe there are so many now. I can remember when the checklist was no more than 10. Yeah, I know, right? There, the print is so tiny. They have to shrink it every single time they do a new batch of books because of the new announcements and such. They're going to have to start doing multiple pages at the back of the book pretty soon. I meant the Marvel Universe made by the Image guys after Onslaught. Oh, okay, I see. From the Heroes Reborn universe. That makes sense because that's is that what you saw here? Is the Bucky Barnes of that era? I think you saw that there, right? Yes, that's right. I remember that. By the way, did you get new glasses? No, I these are the same glasses I've had for a while. Thanks for answering. I really love that period of X-Men 2. Banger after banger. Yeah, it's unreal. What's your favorite Claremont X-Men epic so far? I think that I'm gonna have to say God Loves Man Kills because you got that incredible miniseries and you have the Wolverine miniseries in there as well. So just the two of those together, it's just like a double shot of incredible comics. And then the stuff in between. Let's see here. Um, Man, my mind is blanking now on even which issues because I'm reading them all so quickly in quick succession. So I can't remember what's in which volume, but that one really stood out as like this is really really good. The Brute Saga I really enjoyed as well. It kind of dragged on a little longer than I wanted to. Oh, the Morlock stuff. is in God Loves, Man Kills. That is really, really fantastic. The introduction with, or the early stuff with Kitty Pryde, like, it's just so good. All of that stuff is great. Fate of the Phoenix is a close second. Yes, I would agree with that, Stoger. Fate of the Phoenix definitely was a really good one too, with all of that, the Starjammers and all of that. Yep. Iron Man Gunslinger is Rebel. Okay, Axel. Yeah, this is, like I said, an era that I am not familiar with, so I'm gonna have to check it all out and read it and be pleasantly surprised. Did you read Rom Volume 2, Rogue Turns Good Story yet? Crazy, such a huge turning point for Rogue has been missing for decades. Yeah, we did. I did read that as part of um, the reading, as part of the bonus reading for the reading club. If Rogue got her own epic collection, that first volume actually would be really neat to collect all of her appearances, because it's not just Rom. Like, she goes through character development in Dazzler as well, and like the whole journey of her coming to the point where she needs to confront the X-Men. If you're only reading X-Men, it comes out of the blue. If you only read the X-Men issues and don't read like the annuals or anything, especially like Avengers Annual um, number 10, then you wouldn't even know who Rogue is, like, except for one other appearance where they battle or whatever. But she just comes in out of the blue. Reading through all this Claremont stuff makes me realize even more how much of a masterpiece the X-Men 97 cartoon is. Yeah, they streamline all of that and make it work really, really well. I just read a random issue of Red Sonja by Tom DeFalco and Mary Wilshire from the early 80s. Just curious, w- uh, would have, if they had the rights to, who has the rights to epic size Red Sonja collections? Did Marvel ever do any? No. Red Sonja is property that I think is actually owned or co-owned by Dynamite now. And Dynamite has collected all of the Marvel stuff into collections. They're thinned collections. There's a three or four of them, but they're paperbacks. And they might have done a hardcover, I'm not sure, but there's about three or four paperbacks of all of that stuff there from Dynamite. I don't think that Marvel will ever get the rights to publish Red Sonja collections, because I believe that they're actually owned by another comic book company, which is way different than just being owned by a creator or something like that who can shop around. It's that's I think that's how that deal worked out, but I don't remember exactly. Maybe, hmm, yeah. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. I might actually be thinking of Lady Death. I think that character is co-owned by Dynamite, but then again, I'm not sure either. I don't know. Phil concurs that Dynamite put out four collections of the early Marvel Red Sonja stuff, plus an omnibus. Ends before the DeFalco and Wilshire material, though. Okay, so there's more to go. The Heroes Reborn Earth is the new Counter Earth in this era and plays a major role in Thunderbolts throughout the end of the series. Oh, okay, okay. That's cool. I love that. I think that's going to be great. People, man, what's my computer doing here? People love to rag on the Heroes Reborn universe, but I think the concept is really good. Maybe the execution wasn't great, and some of the titles were better than others, or maybe none of them were great. I don't know, but I still think that the concept is good, and going back and revisiting that universe and those characters is pretty cool. Art by Mary Wilshire was amazingly detailed. She's a very good, like, classic comic illustrator. I don't know if she's still active. I don't really know anything about Mary Wilshire, but yeah, um, she's very, very good. Nestor is one of those Filipino inkers that came in the big wave in the 70s. What is his last name? I can't remember. Yeah. Oh, Nestor Redondo. Yeah, that's right. He's very good. He's a very good inker. A lot of those people from that Filipino wave are excellent, excellent inkers, and artists too. They're all fantastic artists. One of those guys, Alex Nino, is still making comics to this day. He's got to be like 90 or something, but he's still like putting out stuff. It's amazing. Um, Nestor Redondo helped draw the oversized DC Bible graphic novel of the 70s, and that was Joe Kubert art, I believe, doing those stories. Wow. Okay, there we go. You know what? That's a lot of books. No DC Finest this week. We didn't have any DC Finest. I think we'll have another one next week. But so the only thing we're talking about this week is Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts Redemption with Hawkeye on the spine, the corner box. There it is. Taking a big slice of Thunderbolts from 2000 and 2001. Now that's a guy who loves comics, or it's a guy who's in a lot of debt. I have no idea. Is there a direct line to follow for Cosmic Marvel from the modern era Annihilation epics? Does Guardians of the Galaxy follow from those? Will Planet Hulk follow from them? Yeah, Guardians. There's the new Guardians of the Galaxy epic that's coming out later this year is going to follow directly from the Annihilation epics, and that one is what is that one called? The Annihilators, I think. Yeah. Mary Wilshire and Tom DeFalco also did Firestar #1. Where should this get reprinted? Epic style. Probably, I think that one is going to be in New Mutants. I think people. No, no, sorry, New Warriors. I think that's where people have placed it. Other places. Was it in the New Warriors Epic collection? There's one question here up at the top that I didn't get to answer. I'm going to see if I can find it here. It was about the Punisher. Bailey says, "What's up, Curtis? Random question: what content do you foresee being collected in a Punisher Volume 1 epic?" It will be all of his early appearances before he got his own title. Obviously, because this title starts in Volume 2, but he appeared in Amazing Spider-Man and had a lot of appearances throughout the 70s and the 80s, and that in Spectacular Spider-Man. So it'll be mostly Spider-Man issues. But if you take a look at the Punisher Omnibus, I think it's called Back to the War. That will be the basis of that epic collection, I'm pretty sure. Shame about no DC Finest. What are your thoughts on their latest compendium, especially the Green Lantern ones? The compendiums are fine. I have no problem with that. I don't like the books that are that big. That's just my thing. It's like I'd rather read something that is 500 to 600 pages or less. Oh yeah, there will be a lot of Daredevil in there too, for sure. You're right. He does appear in Daredevil. Okay, we talked about Game Masters. These are the books from Clover Press that I opened up my Clover Press box, a company that I work for. My Way by Vin, an art book by a very anime influenced artist. The Mask of Haliya, based on like a modern day Filipino mythology story. And Gollum of Venice Beach, which is a Jewish mythology story starting with Gollum. So it's funny that we got both of those. That was not intentional. And then the art of Michael Allred, along and man, it's getting heavy. And Armored. Mm. So those are all the books we talked about, along with this epic collection. And I showed off some other rewards and stuff. If you're interested in any of these books, um, shoot me a line, and I can give you a little preview, some of the preview art or something like that. And yeah, it's very, very cool. All of these are good reading, and I'm happy to have worked on a bunch of them. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching this live stream and being a part of the conversation. Thank you to everyone in the chat who chimed in and uh, and had something to say. I appreciate you all. One last question. If you had to choose between the Simonson Thor epic, the Byrne Fantastic Four, and the CERN Spider-Man epic coming out this year, how would you arrange your order of priority? I'd put Fantastic Four at the top and Spider-Man second and Thor third. Not that Thor is the worst, but it's just not my favorite among those three. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I like the other two better. But anyway, that's it. Thanks everybody. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you tomorrow if you are involved in our reading club. I'll see you tomorrow for our Wednesday recap. See you later.